What up, Joe? Welcome to the Hus-Band Show podcast, 2024, the very first day.
First day.
Yeah, this is the place where husbands band together and talk about love, life, and laugh. I'm your moderator, Perry.
I'm Trouble T. Roy.
And your boy Vince.
What up, though? This is Big John over here in Virginia.
Virginia.
The web.
Yes. So we got all the fellas together today. So, I mean, it's the first day of the year, so we just want to talk about some new things and leaving some old things behind. So, Brother John, we're going to let you go ahead and pop it off because we usually start with Brother Troy. So, since we got you here, we want to do this while we got you. So, what you got going on?
Well, first off, I want to start off with saying, Happy New Year to you fellas over there in Georgia. It's nice to be able to come out of 2023 walking and talking and existing and even acknowledging and being aware that the new year has come upon us. So I want to say Happy New Year to everybody and your friends and family that's over there. So you ask what things we want to leave behind back in 2023. One thing I want to leave behind in 2023 is just as much negativity as possible. I don't want to ride into 24, with any negativity on my soul or my spirit or anything. Especially as we get older, just realizing that a lot of things aren't as serious as one might make them.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to come into 2024 with a positive outlook on family and positive outlook on health and friendship and. Yeah, that's what I want to look at going into 2024. Just keep it, as humble and as simple as possible.
Exactly. All right.
Right on.
Brother Troy, what you going with?
I'm gonna double down on the negativity piece, man. I want to leave a ton of that negative shit in 23. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just ain't got no space for that shit no more.
No.
And going into 24, and one of the major things I want to leave in 23 is any kind of conflict and beef with my wife. I want to try and have a whole year and see if we can, have way less arguments.
Yeah,
and shit,
be free.
Yeah. So I want to leave that kind of shit in 23.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then moving into 24, I want to, center down on some of the responsibility stuff that I need to hold down. I want to make sure I take care of that piece. Pay more attention to savings and shit for the future, just the basic shit that we need to do as men.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to bring a lot of that with me into 24, bring in hopefully some new words, inspiration, some guidance in some areas. The folks that are watching our show, just bringing love and prosperity. You know what I mean? So when we get here next year, this year when we get back here, let's we'll see if I knock some of them things down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Big Vince, talk to me.
Yeah, definitely leaving the negativity behind. I think 23 was a learning year. It was about a lot of ups and downs. It wasn't my best financial year. You know what I mean? But I hope to correct that, this year starting today. And also just focusing on myself more, taking care of myself instead of being so stretched out, trying to help everybody else. I got to focus on myself because this is a big year for me and my wife, and I guess my whole family. You could say we both gonna hit the 50 this year. We both turn 50.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna focus a lot more on health and trying to prepare for the next phase. You know what I mean? Because I know this is like a milestone or whatever, and I know I probably won't get another 50.
Yeah.
So I got to make whatever I got left.
That's
work.
Make the best of it.
Got to make the best of it. So that's 23 was a year of growth. Me and my wife became a lot closer. You know what I mean? So I hope to keep growing. Hope to keep doing that.
Yeah, and I guess I'm right there with everybody. Like it's the same thing, leaving all the negative stuff behind, trying to grow this thing into what we want it to be. Because I think this is more of a servitude we trying to put forth. Like we don't want to try to get rich, to get rich quick thing. Like we want to pour into our community and the young people. So if we can get some of that stuff popped off, because like I would really like to sponsor weddings, you know what I'm saying, counseling, and, you know, stuff like that, like all the guidance counselors and shit, like life coaches that I know and you know, and probably you too. Like, we could really help out a lot. So, 2024 is all about this right here.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. Like, that's it for me. That's all I'm thinking about.
Growing.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely growing.
Yep. And with no, go ahead. Yeah, he's a youngin'. Yeah, he the baby. Yeah.
No, it's the new beginning. It's the new beginning, man.
Hey, I got news for you, bro. When you wake up, you gonna still feel the same. You know what I mean?
Well, according to my kids, I'm ancient. You know what I mean?
Man, decrepit. All right. So since we got all the new equipment, I think we should reintroduce ourselves so everybody can hear us first of all,
right,
and know a little bit more about us. Okay, so I'm Perry. I am the one that came up with the idea for this show because I felt like husbands needed a voice. Like, you got all the single guys with their shows, and they're telling you how to get a woman and how to get in a relationship. Okay, now you got her. So we're going to teach y'all how to keep her. Right? Mm-hmm. So I've been married 23 years, going into the big 24 this year. And I got 3 kids, all adults. Like, the youngest is 19.
Okay.
And I just felt like, since I think I'm a professional husband, because I've been married damn near all my life.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about some things and, like, get guys, you know, steered in the right direction, because if you go off all the stuff you see on social media, you'll be lost in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not like that.
Yeah,
it's not.
Definitely like that.
I hate to say it, but Will and Jada are really showing y'all what the fuck is going on. It's rough, man. It's rough. It's not easy at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I felt like we just needed a show and talk about some of that stuff. Brother Troy, reintroduce yourself.
Well, I'm Troy. I've been married 28 years, and I'm definitely a professional husband.
Institutionalized.
You know, being married as long as I have, man, me and my wife have experienced a lot of different experiences, man. We go through every single phase of being married. You know, from happiness to wanting to be divorced to working things out to I mean, we've been through all of those areas, man. So I know that I can add some value, you know, to anybody who's married.
Right.
As I certainly can't tell you how to do it right, but I can certainly tell you how to do a lot of shit that's wrong.
Yeah.
So my goal is to hopefully, you know, again, be able to help and encourage, you know, some of these younger folks to want to invest in being married, but more importantly, to understand what's actually going to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when I played football. You know, the coaches told you, man, eventually somebody going to hit you.
Somebody going to pop that.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They gave you all this equipment and this helmet and all this stuff for a reason, because eventually you going to get hit.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with being married. You know what I mean? We just need to make sure we're giving the guys some armor, a helmet, you know what I mean? So when they do get hit, it don't hurt as much. But if they know they going to get hit, it won't be such a surprise where they want to quit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like getting that blind side hit and be like, man, that's made the most basketball players ever. Right? Same thing with being married.
Yeah.
You know, we can turn a bunch of dudes into being professional single men, or we can help some of them become professional husbands.
There you go.
And my side is to try and help them become a professional husband.
That's right.
And then along the way, me become more of a professional husband. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm steady learning too.
There you go.
I've been married 28 years, but let my wife tell this shit. I've been a damn fool for 28, 27 and a half. You know what I'm saying? So,
right there with you. I'm right there with you.
You know.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Brother Vince?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm Vince, 20 plus. Just had an anniversary day after Christmas, matter of fact. My youngest, I got 5 kids. My youngest will be 21 tomorrow.
Okay.
So I officially have no more babies. You know what I mean? But I just, you know, a reason I'm a part of this is one, because we're friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I kind of wanted to, you know, give my perspective on this, because, like you said, we've been through a lot of ups and downs. You know, it's been some dark days.
Yeah.
You know, but, you know, having this platform and being able to sit around with my boys and talk about it, you know, and share ideas and experiences and things that we've all been through, you know, it's helped me to grow as a person, as a husband, and as a father. So, yeah. You know, that's kind of what I want to give. You know, that's my contribution to it. You know, I want to give some experience. You know, a little knowledge, a little wisdom, or whatever about what things that I've been through, and a lot of the shit was self-inflicted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want to kind of help. Prevent some of the younger guys from
Keep
falling
them from going that way.
Right, falling
Exactly.
into the same traps.
That's
Right,
right.
because there's a bunch of traps out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bunch of traps out there.
Whew.
So yeah, that's who I am, and that's what I hope to bring to this thing.
All right, brother Combs, talk to us. What you got?
Well, what up, though? I'm John from Detroit. A little bit about me when it comes to marriage. I don't have as much tenured, twice over decades as the other brothers have. But I have, exactly. I'm probably the freshest marriage, partnership that I have within the group. Me and the wife trekking on 4 years.
4.
But they're 4. Quattro. I know y'all probably know.
I don't remember year 4.
Yeah.
4 years of marriage with this lovely woman that I'm with. And but what I think I can bring is just wisdom in general, because even though I may have been only married just 4 years and counting, I'm not new to relationships and understanding what relationships are. This isn't my first marriage.
Right.
Just to be
Right.
to be transparent, and understanding the trials and errors and tribulations of how the first one fell apart, mutually, and just seeing how I waited until I was mentally in a place to where I knew I wanted to get married again, and then took the faults that I had prior to relationships and prior to a marriage to where I knew that what was I doing wrong that was causing the other one to fail, and how can I move forward? And that's also with also gaining wisdom and asking questions from people who have a tenured time and being married and understanding and listening. How do you get to 28 years? How do you get to 23 years? How do you get to 20 plus years? And understanding the things that you have to give and take away from being that type of longevity in relationships, and understanding the ups and downs, how the happiness
The ebbs and flows. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff, and being able to take that advice and being able to listen and not emulate, but make it fit part of a lifestyle. I know that'll be better. That'll help build our relationship and make it stronger. So I don't have the tenor, but I have experience.
Yeah.
I understand. I have the knowledge and the wealth of understanding and listening, and how I'm taking what I've been told and putting it into everyday accomplishments.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, all right, we're gonna stay right there then. So, so you said this is not your first marriage. It's not mine, but we got 2 gentlemen that's right here, and they in their first ones, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and still there, holding fast.
Boy, that shit be on a string sometimes. Feel like, boy, you be on your last rope.
Yeah.
Hey, but I have a question though, as far as that goes. So like second marriages or whatever. At what point? Because I've heard a lot of guys say that they realized at some point in that first marriage that they were not ready to be somebody's husband, or it wasn't going to work. Everybody had that thought. Everybody get to that point sometimes, and I wonder what made you guys realize like this is just
Well, okay, I'll go first, John. You can go after me. For me, like, so I got married when I was 20 to Austin's mother. I was still in the military, and when I came home, I was looking for a job, all that good stuff like that. Felt like coming home from Vietnam, because it was like the world was so cold.
Right.
But it was. But so I became a police officer, and I don't know, man. It's like, I hate to say this cliche bullshit, like we grew apart, because it sounds like a cop out, but it really was, dude. I met that woman when I was 16. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all that time together, and then I'm just like, I got to the point, I knew my breaking point was I didn't want to come home.
Okay.
Like when I stopped wanting to come home, I was like, oh, this shit is
it's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah. That was it for me. So, Brother Combs?
Based on what he said, I got married. I was, and it's the same thing. You have people who give you advice and tell young adults things when they're in their sub-20s, right? Those 18 and 19-year-olds, And I had joined the military, shipped off to another state. I was living there, and met somebody. I thought, the world was revolving around them, and believing that, this is it. I'm saying? Still young, dumb, and wet behind the ears, and diving into a long relationship. My first time away from home, not understanding that I had to grow as a person. I have to grow into knowing who I am before I try to build into a relationship. I was extremely wrong. I was extremely young. Then you get kids involved and things like that, and then you start making decisions that you're not ready to make. No regrets at all. Anything in that aspect.
Yeah.
I started making decisions and trying to force happiness when happiness isn't there. And that's the worst type of happiness to try to force.
Because it's not real.
Force yourself, if you gotta force yourself to like the person that you're with, or force yourself to be in the same room with the person that you're with, of course the only thing that's left is failure when it comes to this aspect, And I learned a lot. We were together for 7+ years, give or take here and there. And I hadn't started deploying yet to the military. I was really early into my military life before I started hitting the Iraqs and all that kind of stuff. That's a whole nother podcast we talk about. But before I was still young in the military. Hadn't been doing too much travel in other states and countries and things of that nature. And both of us was just very, very young, and both of us were trying to grow as individuals before we were trying to grow a family together. And it fell apart. Yeah. We're still cool. We still talk and associate to this very day. But we laugh at it now because she lives up in the area where I am in. She lives about an hour or so from out where I live here now in Virginia, out in Maryland. And we still laugh about, how we were kids, 30-something plus years ago, and how we
trying to navigate this thing. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So and that's what happened with that, and been in some long relationships after the fact, and I learned a lot from that first marriage and how to find success, and I ended up finding success at 49 years old, 48 years old when I'm at right now. Me and her have been divorced, like in 20 years, give or take.
Yeah.
And then end up finding love at commitment and what I was really looking for and what God was ready to give me at 48.
Okay. All right, I feel you.
Can't beat that.
All right.
Beat that.
So I had a homegirl. She put up her well, I don't want to say it was resolutions, but things she was pushing in 2024. And the one that caught my eye, because she is married, she said, monogamy is a construct.
Okay.
A human construct.
Okay.
So what do you mean?
That's a hot take.
That's a hot take, definitely.
She need to elaborate on that.
Like, okay, so how do you feel? She's saying that monogamy is a construct. Man-made.
What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get what that means.
She's saying that it's like I don't I don't know where to go.
I don't get what she mean. I really don't. So I'm lost.
Yeah, I mean,
Let me break it down.
Okay. Okay.
We have all these, I can be the research because I'm sitting over here in front of it. You can see what I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
I got 4 screens in front of me.
Okay.
So I can pull the research up quickly. So I'm gonna read what it says about, what a social construct is when it comes to monogamy.
Okay.
So, bear with me. Monogamy, the practice of having one romance or sexual partner at a time, is considered by some to be a social construct. This means it is a concept or practice that is shaped by cultural and social norms, rather than being an inherent or natural aspect of a human behavior.
I got you.
In other words, it's just saying that something that is learned other than something that's being natural.
Or is it just an excuse to get freaky deaky?
She just want a full-time hall pass.
Is that where we at?
That's what she want. That's what it sounds like. She want a full-time hall pass.
Okay, so to add to that, is it more natural for a female to want monogamy, or is it more natural for a male to want multiple partners? How, you know what I mean? Is there anything on that?
And that's definitely more male.
Is monogamy natural, or is it a learned practice?
Okay.
Is it to bring it down even further. Is it natural, or is it a learned practice? What is monogamy?
Gotcha.
I think that's what everything's based on.
But yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so she's saying that she want to go against the norm. Sound like what her thing is
Yeah.
for 24.
because it's a social construct.
Right, so she want to change that. But
Well, I don't.
I mean, I guess probably in the future it may be more socially acceptable to not be monogamous.
I think
I'm gonna tell you, man,
You think it
I
is
don't know
already?
because it's so expensive right now just to have one partner.
Right.
Can you imagine trying to date 3-4 different chicks at the same time, dog?
As an everyday Joe.
I don't want the headache.
There's no way you can't afford it.
You can't. You can't.
As a normal Norman, hell no.
You can't afford no shit like that.
No, sir.
Now, if you got a bunch of people that's really wealthy, and they want to date, multiple 5, 10 people, whatever that shit is, that's that's going on somewhere anyway.
Right. Right.
But for everybody, I don't believe that shit'll work.
No.
These dudes can't afford one chick,
Yeah, and not only
let alone 3.
Yeah, and then that's coming from the female aspect. Like, if that's a female's view,
Okay.
is she the only one that thinks like that?
She can't
Like,
be. I know a few people who think like that, and instead of saying it, I know one female in particular who says that she is sexually liberated.
What the fuck does that mean?
Like, she shouldn't be tied down to one guy. You know what I mean? She should have a variety. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, see, that's the beauty of being free. She don't have to be married.
True.
She don't have to be in a relationship.
Right.
She can do what she want to do.
And that's basically how I told her. I'm like, hey, if that's how you feel about it, then. But to label it being liberated, I think that's kind of a.
Yeah, it's not liberated. That's
No.
you just sleeping around.
You're making a decision to do what you want to do, right?
That's the person you are going into a relationship. Like, leave people out of your bullshit.
Exactly. Don't bring that to somebody who's thinking one thing and you already got some shit in your mind about something else.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In fact, that's one of the things that my wife and I struggle with
Okay.
because she oftentimes thinks things
Mm-hmm.
and don't tell me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the shit that she done thought about, I don't even know that she thinking this.
Yeah, you should have brought this to me, Shawty.
And for you know it, she then blew up on me. Like she ready to knock me the hell out over some shit she thought about.
I'll tell you one thing. If my wife think that shit, she's going to say it.
I'd rather that than you tell me something,
Yeah.
My
you know what I'm
wife
saying,
like
but
to
you
hold
really,
it.
really mad,
She-
but
she
you acting
to
like you
hold
ain't.
it,
You know what I'm
hit
saying?
with
That kind of shit.
grenade.
No, mine don't hold nothing, bro. If she got an issue, I'm telling you, if she got an issue with me, like, okay, so we got a routine, especially if I'm on the road. She goes to work super early, so she gets up at like 2:30 in the morning. Every morning we have a conversation on the phone from around 4 to like 4:45. And that's where we discuss the business. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if she got an issue with something or she even thinking about something, it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's
She gonna
coming.
let you know. For sure.
Yeah, but that's
All right,
that's
Brother John, what you got on that?
Yeah, that's just to back up what y'all saying, I guess, and it could be an age thing when you look at, all of our age,
Yeah.
The closeness of where we are in age. And when it's trying to juggle relationships at our age, it's not conducive to success. We don't have the energy for that mess.
No.
I ain't got the mental capacity. And me trying to keep track of deception and lies.
Mhm.
I only got enough brain capacity for 52 years of living.
Yeah.
But I have to move something out to put something new in.
Yeah.
That's gonna cause a tornado of effects to just burn down. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I don't have the patience for that. And if again going back, you look at where we are in age. Imagine trying to juggle people with our age bracket, 3 and 4, people like that.
I can't imagine.
A high percentage of those individuals are in relationships, long-term,
Right.
probably 10 relationships, have a family, are established as who they are. Then you look at the individuals who's trying to live that lifestyle at a certain age.
Right.
What type of chaos are they probably living in right now? And then you look at Troy from a financial standpoint. That's expensive.
Yeah.
Because at our age, we have certain expectations of what we want to do. We ain't trying to go to the shake junk or to the juke joints
Right.
and stuff no more. We want to go someplace where I can chill, have some nice cocktails
Right.
or something.
Smoke a hookah, cigar, yeah.
Or a hookah. I'm going to a place where there's leather and wood and stuff
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
And we sitting up in there relaxing and chilling. And that comes with the price point.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you 20, 25, and the 20, you juggle women, you probably running Applebee's and Cheesecake Factory and things of that nature. I don't do cheesecake, I don't through Applebee's because I have a refined palate now.
Yeah.
My expectations of what I want to do with my wife is at a higher caliber than it was when I was 20. And you
Right.
can contest to that. I'm sure you can.
Right.
You see what
Right.
I'm saying? So me trying to balance all that and trying to figure out, it being a learned, marriage being a social construct, is it learned and monogamy and all this other kind of stuff? Me personally, I don't have the time or the energy to even, and just the energy alone to even try to figure that aspect out.
Yeah. It's too much. It's too
much.
much.
Yeah, it's way too much. And
It's
it's
too
shit
much.
too expensive nowadays, man.
Yep.
You know, when I was in my 20s, younger man like that, I juggled, I was involved in that kind of shit too. You don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it didn't cost as much.
Yeah.
And you said something, man, that actually hit home to me, because what I was doing is exactly what you said, bringing this baggage into somebody else's life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when you look back on that shit, that's wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
It's
you deceiving them from day one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's total deception off top.
Yeah.
So you already done created a huge divide
Mm-hmm.
because you started this on a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would encourage anybody, again, if you want to live like that, do you, but just be straight up.
Be straight up.
Because you'll find somebody just like her that want to do the same
They
shit.
want to do the same shit. Yeah.
So just, hey, y'all communicating, that's what y'all want to do, rock out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sometimes the truth works.
You'd be amazed at what somebody is willing to do as long as you give them the option to make their own decision.
Right.
Exactly, man.
Right.
So what somebody is willing to do, as long as you give them the option to make their own decision. If you're making the decision for me, it's gonna be a problem. I'd rather know than to find out. So when I find out, now I got a problem.
Yeah.
Now if I know what I'm getting into off jump, before
Exactly.
we even move to first, second, or third base, whatever you want to call it. If you tell me immediately day one, this is what I am, this is what I can give you. If you don't want to be bothered with it, let's move on our separate ways amicably, because this is what I have to offer right now. If that's something you don't want to deal with, then hey, you ain't got to worry about what comes with that. 3-4 months down the line, and then you have a conversation. Well, why didn't you tell me? Well, you let me know from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So just be straight up and be honest up front. And like Troy said, you might have people who are willing to live like that because they don't want the pressures of a long-standing relationship.
Yeah.
They want to grab and go, like you going to Starbucks, you go to the grab and go, grab your little cup of coffee.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going about your business.
The
You don't want
cappuccino.
obligations that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You want grab and go, and that's okay. Some people love a grab and go.
Right.
I'm a sit and stay type person.
Me
Sit
too.
and sip.
Sit and sip. Sit and sip.
But I think it just comes down to them just being straight up. I mean,
Being
social
straight
media done created this whole you got to live a lie shit,
Yeah.
right? And you really ain't got a lie to kick it.
No, you don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said,
Never
sometimes the
have.
truth
Tell
works.
them what it is,
Yeah.
and it is what it is.
Yeah,
You know.
it is.
It is what it is.
But that thing though, man, it just sounds, to even think about it, just sounds just physically, financially, just taxing.
It's
Ain't no way
lot.
in hell.
It's a lot. And then you got to consider the emotional aspect because, at some point you juggling female, whatever, somebody gonna catch some feelings.
Always.
And then you got to deal with that.
Always.
And
So-
see, that's where young people go wrong again, man. When I was a younger man, I didn't think about none of them consequences.
Nope. I didn't care.
Exactly. That shit was just a part of, in my mind, it was a part of life.
Right.
That shit was the furthest from a part of life than there ever was. And I never really had an example of anybody in my family that was that part of life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That was a learned behavior from my own. That's some shit that I just decided, you know what I'm saying? Because I grew up with my father, my mother and father was married my whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with my uncles and my family. It was a different, I saw good role models,
Mm-hmm.
growing up. So I didn't have no reason to try to do no shit like that when I was younger, but that was dating. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
wasn't
that's different.
marriage.
That's different.
And I wasn't toward marriage with any of those women.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was wrong. Don't get me wrong. I was wrong and like two left shoes wrong.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a part of a marriage. I think it becomes really, really a problem when you bring that kind of baggage to somebody and now you turn someone by being a partner.
Yeah.
And see, that too, that kind of goes into where a lot of people make mistakes getting into marriage is the expectations that they bring. You see what I'm saying? Because especially when you're younger and if things don't scale up to what you thought it was going to be, a lot of people's first option is to go seek what the hell they not getting. You feel me? Instead of talking to your mate and trying to come to that same level, you know what I mean? Or that same space or whatever. I don't know. It just, because I think a lot of people you know, have different concepts or ideas of what they think marriage gonna be.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
some people want
it's
they shit
not
to
all cotton candy,
Right.
white picket fence,
Right.
2 dogs and 3 kids. Like it's
right,
not that.
right. I told my
It's
wife
not
the other
that.
day the Cosby Show was a TV show.
Mhm.
That's not real.
No.
That's not reality.
Not
And
at all.
even if you look at the show, man, they even had beef. You know
yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
true. They true.
That's just the reality. Now, what we glossing over, the biggest point and the biggest breakup, the biggest problem early in the marriage is the finance.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the divide is the first.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That divide early on in your marriage creates resentment for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That lack of security
Yeah.
provides resentment, you know, down the line.
Yeah.
I've been married 28 years, and my wife still doesn't feel totally secure
Mm-hmm.
in our long-term living.
That's
When we
right.
get to be old, she worried about working at Walmart,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
right?
Sure.
And that shit eat at her every time I come home with a new bag, a new pair of shoes,
Mhm.
a new anything. That shit eat at her,
Mhm.
right? Because she thinking long-term, like, we need to save every dollar we got because I don't want to work at
Yeah.
Walmart when
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me,
Right.
I ain't thinking about that.
No. I'm
Right.
the same way, Troy. I'm the same way.
That shit is a huge divide in a marriage,
Yeah.
though, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that me and my wife aren't on the same page on even 28 years later.
Right.
And that's something that we should have gotten on the same page on early on in our marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's a big deal.
It
Finance
is.
is
It's
very
a real
important,
big deal
you know,
because
in that household. And when
I
you got
know-
one person like me
Mhm.
who don't pay close attention to it as much,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just going to keep it 100. I'm not really good with doing that part.
No, me either.
My wife is.
Yeah.
And like I said, it eats at her every
But
time
see,
she
I
open
said
up my
that-
closet.
in the earlier
too.
pod, how women are wired. Like, okay, you want to be like romantic and Mr. Sexy Man and all that shit like that, but the finances are fucked up.
Fucked up, right?
Nothing's happening. 'Cause
Shit.
the finances are fucked up.
Yep.
That's how they're wired. Like, they like to know everything is straight.
Yep.
You know, from financial to I don't know, mental, and everybody's good
Everything.
before any of that's gonna happen.
No
you,
doubt.
You have a negative in your checking account, you're not getting no ass.
You're not. And if you do,
It's not happening.
if you do, it's sympathy sex. It's just like, I'm going to get this nigga something so he leave me the fuck alone.
And who wants that?
Who?
Shut the hell up so we can shut the hell up.
So he can shut the hell up, right?
And you only gonna get that shit once or twice.
Yeah.
Somebody
That's
gonna feel
it.
Sorry for you once
Hey,
or
that
twice.
shit
You
got
know
a
what
short
I'm saying?
lifespan.
That's not gonna be no
And
regular.
that's just how they're wired, dude.
Yeah, I
You
know.
what I'm
I
saying?
know.
Like, that's
I
no
know.
knock on them. Like, and I'm not mad at that because that keeps us on our game.
It
But see, I'm
does.
gonna tell you something, man. Had somebody came to me when I was younger and said, you know what, this is what you really gonna have to start doing.
Yeah.
Right? You're gonna have to make sure that you creating savings and you involving your wife in what that plan is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you letting her know and you keeping her up to date on what your long term plan is,
Mm-hmm.
that reduces, that amount of stress in their life.
Yeah.
Where we go wrong is when we don't share the information.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And like with our 401ks and all of that different stuff, without them knowing, how all of that is being handled, how
Right.
much those limits are, things of that nature. If you ain't communicating and they just guessing,
Mhm.
then it's creating, anxiety
Yeah.
in them. So again, if somebody would have told me early on, hey man, do it this way, try this, because it was crazy, man. I had the examples I had was kind of nuts. My grandfather was the total opposite of me.
Okay.
Save everything he ever could. My grandmother controlled all of the money pretty much, so he put his money in the pot,
Just
and
walked
she
away,
did
yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? And that worked for them.
Mm-hmm.
My father, on the other hand, he wasn't putting all his shit in the pot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had shit to do.
So-
You know what I'm
Some
saying?
off to the side.
So I was looking at Birth Worlds, and unfortunately I gravitated more toward my pops because I wasn't putting all my shit in the pot like that.
Right.
So as I got older, I realized what my wife was really trying to do. It wasn't about trying to control my money.
Yeah.
It was just trying to control her
Future.
future. You know what I'm saying? Her wanting
Peace
her,
of mind, man. Yeah.
you know,
Peace of mind.
and being young, you fight that.
Yeah, you do.
Because first thing come out your mouth is, you ain't about to control me.
Yeah,
You ain't
right.
about my mouth. You ain't about to control
Yeah.
me. You ain't about to tell me what to do.
I'm a grown ass man.
I'm a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I am a grown ass man, but I also know that I got to partner with emotions.
Right.
Right. And I got to make sure that I'm tapping into that. And that's what I'm doing at 24.
We got to start thinking how our decisions and our actions affect her. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because a lot of times we don't. We just do shit. I know I had a nickname. Even my kids, Mr. Throw It in the Bag. My concept with it has always been, I make money, I spend it. It comes and it goes.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
life.
Sometimes we got it. Sometimes we don't.
That's life.
That's life.
My
But she
wife
don't
ain't
look
with
at it
that
like
shit.
that.
No.
Not at all.
I got a wife that ain't with that. She
No,
like,
mine either.
I'd
Mine
rather
either.
you not buy me nothing nice and expensive.
Right.
Just put the money in the savings account.
Yep.
She with
Brother
that's how
Combs,
she
you
is.
froze? Oh, there you go.
He back.
I'm listening to what y'all saying because it's funny though, because those 5 words have gotten so many relationships tore down. I'm a grown ass man. I'm a grown ass woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationships have been torn down for making those 5 words right there.
Yep.
So you have to be smart about those decision making processes, right? And just to, I'm listening to what y'all saying, especially when you look to the financial aspect, like Troy was talking about. Me and my wife was talking about this probably a day or so ago. We're talking about finances and goals. What we want to do. Things going forward, and looking at residual ways of making monetary incomes here and there. Trying to thinking of ways to make that can put us in make money for us while we sleep. What can we do to make money while we sleep?
Yeah.
That doesn't require a lot of energy, too much time, or too much additional monies, and I didn't have to wait for that stuff to be success. So that's something that we have been researching and looking into 2024 and going forward, and becoming more financially stable and financially ready.
Yeah.
Right. So then I look at we're talking about purchases and things of that nature. And I don't know who said it, or somebody said it. I can't remember. If you can't buy it twice, you don't need it.
Oh, shit.
Right.
Wow.
If you can't buy
Oh,
it twice,
shit.
you don't need it. Or
Yeah.
if you have to worry about if you have to move monies around to make this purchase, you don't need it.
Okay.
You don't need it. Yeah.
Okay, just being smart. Yeah, you don't need it. Being smart about your money spendings, but also being able to have your monies and enjoy life as a whole. What's the purpose of all this hard work?
There you go.
Reap the benefits
There
from
you
that hard work.
Yeah, that's true.
I tell my kids, the money I'm making right now is all mine. When I leave here, I got y'all covered. But this right here I'm making, this is mine. I got a little something just in case, but this is mine, and I'm making it, so I'm spending it. When I leave here, I got y'all squared away. Don't worry about all that.
Right.
Because you ain't got no U-Haul attached to your cash
Nah.
when you get buried. You ain't taking none of that stuff.
Nah.
I think my pops will.
Your pop's gonna try?
I think he gonna try. I think he want us to bury him in the U-Haul.
No, I'm gonna tell you, my daddy told us, man.
Right. Hyperbaric chamber.
My daddy told me and my sister one day, man. He said, you know what? Y'all pretty successful. Y'all got families, nice homes and shit. Y'all pretty cool. I'm just telling y'all now, I ain't leaving y'all shit.
Wow.
I'm spending it all.
He gonna go through it.
Go
man,
through it.
And when I tell you my daddy lived his life every single
I
day
ain't mad at that.
was Saturday.
I ain't mad at that.
He had fun every day.
I
Every
feel
day.
you.
He spent every dollar he had. He get his check at the first of the month. My dad's a disabled veteran.
Okay.
100%. Actually, he was 200% disabled.
Okay.
So he made a pretty good income.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Every first of the month, he a rock star. By about the last 2 or 3 days of the month, damn near homeless.
Yeah. Humble
You know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
motherfucker.
Yeah.
But he know come the first, he a star
Yeah, he
again.
right
Because
back.
that's how he live, man.
Yeah.
He enjoyed every single day. And I couldn't understand what he meant. Like, man, I ain't leaving y'all shit. I'm about to enjoy this shit.
Yeah.
He did have some insurance,
Yeah,
made sure
for sure.
when he died we got enough to bury him and all of that.
Yeah.
But I understand what he meant just from that comment you just said.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I mean?
Yes,
He
sir.
like, man, y'all grown. Y'all straight. Y'all don't really need me for shit.
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
And he right.
Exactly.
We ain't need you to, we straight at this point. So he like,
That's
hey,
right. So
it's
right
on.
now we're gonna enjoy.
he like,
And I
it's on.
got y'all when I go.
I'm gone.
And
Yeah.
that's what he
I'm
did.
gone.
He went all the way to the last couple of days before he left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna wrap this thing up. Talking 2024. new things, out with the old. Brother Combs, we're gonna give it to you first.
Just one of the things, I don't do those, what do you call them? Those
Resolutions.
New Year no, I call them New Year reservations.
Yeah, for real.
They reserve the idea of
RSVCP. Some shit.
No doubt.
RSVP.
RSVP.
We're going to move forward. But something that we can, things that you don't have to wait for the New Year to do is just, better financial literacy. You know what I'm saying? Going forward. And again, of course, caveat of keeping a negative behind you, and then surround yourself with like-minded people.
There you
things
go.
Things that you can do without having to make too much of a conscious effort to do. Just keep yourself around like-minded people. You'd be amazed at what you can build and destroy in a knowledge base from like-minded people. What you can talk about, the ideas you can bounce off each other with like-minded people, and keeping those people in your corner who's going to give you the cut and dry when needed, and also give you the talk when needed. I don't want to be around nobody that's going pussyfoot around me being fucked up.
Yeah,
right.
And just don't say nothing to me.
Yeah. Oh yes, man.
Don't make me. You shouldn't have a feel good moment if I'm struggling.
Yeah.
What can you tell me that can get me to another level that I might not be thinking about? That's why surround yourself with like-minded people. And the ending, I'm gonna say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong.
You fucking up.
Yeah.
All right.
Or you the only one in
That's
there.
right. Yeah. That's right. You
That's
fucking
what
up.
you the only
That's
one
right.
in the room.
That's right, brother Troy. What you got on it, baby?
Man, I'm telling you, 24, man. Well, first off, with 23 again, I'm leaving the negativity out. That shit over with. Some changes gonna be made in 24 positively. I hope to impact people as they look at the show. Hope we have some good commentary, good call-ins, so that we can really dive into some of the things that not just bring sadness in marriage, but the things that bring happiness.
Yeah.
It's one thing for people to call in and give us a bunch of bad shit. And that's cool. We do need to hear a bunch of the bad shit. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But there's a whole lot of success stories.
Yeah,
Right? And we need those success stories to be repeated because, just like Combs just said, like minds think together. And if we can share them success stories, somebody's going to pick up on that success and they'll continue that. You know what I mean? And it'll give people who are on the bridge, on that edge where it's only one string left before their marriage is going to fall apart.
Right.
That might give them a little more power to grab two more strings. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to continue that for sure.
Definitely.
Outside of that, man, shit, it's on and cracking for 24, baby.
Upward motion, baby.
Upward.
Big bitch, what you got, baby?
Right. So I'm picking back on Combs because you say like-minded people. Yeah, that's definitely the avenue I'm taking. I already have a small circle. That shit's gonna shrink. You feel me? Even smaller.
Oh, Cheerio.
But exactly. And you got to cut the dead weight. And I'm going to pull the people that I feel are important to me or have contributed to my life closer. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to have to work on that. I'm terrible with that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just reaching out and staying in contact with people that I've grown up with or whatever.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm trying to grow, in that area. And then I want to grow this podcast, into different arenas. Not just about marriage, just about whatever, you know. I don't want to be, hot topics, but necessarily. But I do want to grow. And like Troy said, it's on and popping from here, from here on up.
I'm thinking only positive from here, man. Like, if you can't help us with this or impact this thing we trying to do, I really don't need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point in our lives, it's time for us to pour back in.
Yeah, right.
We've done enough fuck shit.
Yep.
We lived our lives. We have families. We have wives. We have successful children. It's time for us to give back. You don't have to. It doesn't have to be monetarily all the time. Sometimes it's just service.
Right.
And I think this is a hell of a fucking service right here. Like what we doing.
Yeah.
There's people that need it, man. That's for damn sure. 'Cause I swear, 28 years ago, I definitely needed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had,
no doubt.
like I said, I can talk to my father, I can talk to my grandfather, my uncles. They was married. I can talk to them, but it's different when you're getting it from somebody in your family, because that conversation is going to be dominated by that person.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you got a stranger, somebody who you really don't know, you can let your hair down a little bit more. You can ask a few more questions that you may not ask them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can have a dialogue that you may not have with your grandfather.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have those options. You know, so
somebody
I'm
that's
glad
not
we
geared
provide
to take
that.
your side.
Yeah, because like I said, when you talk to your grandfather, man, it's gonna be the conversation with you and your grandfather ain't the same conversation you're gonna have with you and a dude from work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You and even though your grandfather's much closer to you, this dude from work ain't gonna judge you in your mind. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna let your hair down with the stranger.
It's objective.
And we the strangers.
Objective. Yeah.
We want them to let their hair down and be able to feel comfortable, you know, airing the shit out.
Right.
Because if you don't really air it out, you ain't gonna get the right answer. You do what I alluded to earlier when I mentioned about what I deal with my wife, where I think she makes up shit in her mind and that becomes her reality.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
If we don't show them, hey man, nah, you know, let's go and open them and talk about it. They create this shit in their mind. And now before you know it, this wrong shit in their mind become their life.
It's manifested.
It becomes reality.
And now they didn't teaching that shit to somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it's important what we do, because the dialogue that we can bring and we can involve ourselves with them in, it should create enough conversation that the folks that listen to us, because let's just face it, man, everybody in marriage go through the same shit.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
It's not a whole lot of different shit you're gonna argue with your wife about.
Exactly.
Y'all, you know, the majority of the shit that happens in a marriage is the same shit that happen universally.
Yeah.
So if we can somewhat talk about some of those universal traits, I think that's gonna be helpful for any age group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the same shit that we all go through.
Yeah.
You dig?
Yep. All right, brothers. I appreciate y'all for falling through on this New Year's Day.
Yes, sir.
Brother Combs, via satellite. Do they even say that anymore? Yeah, man. But hey, look, we got some good stuff coming from y'all this year. I mean, I promise you. There's going to be a lot more call-ins, and we're going to try this live thing a couple times to see if we can get it going.
See what we can do with it.
And, dare I say, the draft?
The draft.
We will be there.
Oh, and I was told by someone very prominent in my life not to say anything obnoxious on this here episode, so I think I succeeded in that.
Well, it couldn't have been your last comment.
I don't know. I thought I was on the level. You know.
Okay.
I ain't want to bring up bullshit.
Look, man, when this dude said that shit, I said, holy shit. We on a whole nother level.
We going there. We'll give him the raw cut now. Pull no punches. Hey, too many people pull punches, man.
Right.
Yeah. There was no punches being pulled on that one.
No.
Good God Almighty,
No.
this man right here.
My mama used to tell me all the time, that mouth boy gonna get you in a lot of shit.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate y'all for stopping through, man. And like I said, 2024, we coming. I'm Perry.
I'm Trouble T.
Big Vince.
I'm John.
Peace.
Peace.